Hello survivors! Today we are playing the Legionnaire. I completely forgot about him yesterday when I did the video on the Beastmaster. I said no, we've only got the Necromancer and the Beastmaster, but we've actually got the Legionnaire. In today's video we are going to just look mostly at his Ascension. I don't really have a specific build for him, and that's because I actually am not a fan of Vulcan Impaler's second skill. I do like the Piercing Flame. I really like the fact that you can emit your a wave around you applying melting, and that you do burn damage as well. Really good, really cool skill as well. But the second skill, Incinerating Spear, does the same thing that Purging Slam does, where it removes all your burn and melting stacks, but it deals the damage they apply at 200% of the value and instantly. And that's also how Reap worked. I really haven't been a fan of them, but anyway, that's my own little personal opinion. If you guys like those skills, great. But with regards to what we're running today, just for fun, we've got Multicast Mastery, Weapon Expert, Searing Intensity for the burn stacking, Impaler, and Death Touch. I haven't really played much with these two, so I thought, well, let's just try them, and if I can't get all my burn stacks, I might as well make some rot on the way. So let's get straight into it and see what his Ascension is and what it is like. So as you can see at the bottom over there, we got 5 pictures if I can count. They all say 0 out of 17. Now what happens there is every time we kill an enemy, or let me show you with the settings on all the way because it actually looks much better visually. As you can see, there is a blueprint of a catapult on the floor, and when you kill enemies they drop like a piece of the catapult. So they drop these cogs, these building pieces, and for the Legionnaire what we need to do is then build these catapults. Now a couple of things about the catapults is they last forever, or until the run ends, or until you go into one of the portals, and they are also invulnerable. They cause huge amounts of damage, so 840 damage, and then they apply melting as well. Also it says deliver 20 materials to the catapult, and what it actually means is you can hold up to 20 materials, and then the catapults only need 17 materials to create the catapults. So we'll eventually turn down the graphics, but we'll see what it's like right now for that. As you can see, in the beginning enemies don't really drop a lot of the catapult pieces, so you do have to just keep your eye on the ones that you can pick up and go from there. Let's go with, I think Bomb Barrage will be really nice over here, although Fiery Bolt's also strong. It deals burn as well. Grab that for us and go for some crit and movement speed over there. Let's grab a Lightning Bolt as well while we're at it. A very strong skill, one of my favorite of all time. I'm not going to be grabbing Frenzied Bunnies. Of course you can grab them yourself if you want them, but it looks like we're going to be going for Bolt build on the Legionnaire for now. I think it's quite fun. I think it's very interesting to run all the bolt skills, and they all apply the nice negative effects. I've never really done it on the Legionnaire. I've always felt that he is relatively weaker than all of the other characters, so I've never tried something silly like a little bit of bolts on him. So, you know, I kind of don't have a game plan for an idea of a build for him right now on his actual new skills. Although I do, but I really don't like how Incinerating Spear works. Maybe we can just run a build with Piercing Flame instead, and without the Weapon Expert, and see how that goes. But for now, we're just going to look at the catapults and see just how much damage they actually do, and if Legionnaire needs a buff or not. I know that Alan, the developer, has said that he isn't happy with where the Elementalist state is in the game, and he's looking at maybe buffing that. I'm not sure. I don't feel the same way. I feel that you know, someone like the Legionnaire might need maybe his catapults, especially when you go over into higher cycles. They require less resources to build, because we all know how insanely OP the enemies become in High Overlords, and how you continuously have to dodge and move. It's going to be very difficult to build your catapults, and also you're not going to have a lot of time to build them, because the Overlord cycles only last for a couple of minutes, and by the time you've been like, oh, I've got everything up and running now, there's absolutely no time left for you then to actually sit there and play with them. So I'm actually going to go and get rid of The incinerating spear, really don't like it. It's removing all my negative effects, and I don't even think it deals that. I mean, the damage does go up quite a lot though. Even if I had 1 stack of damage, that's still quite... No, we'll keep it. We'll keep it for now. So we'll keep it as the way that it is right now. We can increase it so everything deals burn damage, increase our fire damage, cast frequency over there, banish the Leviathan. We still need a bit more movement speed, and we should be okay for now. So we'll keep it. We'll just stack a bit of spontaneous combustion. That's the best way to do it. Unfortunately, Legionnaire doesn't have Blade Storm, otherwise it would probably be extremely strong. So if you had to do like a Blade Storm and Scent of Blood on Incinerating Spear, it could be really, really good, especially with that. He does have access to Avalanche, so you could use Avalanche if you didn't want to use Blade Storm, or if you were looking for another skill that can apply negative effects really, really quickly. But otherwise, we just got to kind of do a lot of cast frequency and hope and pray that we got enough stacks of the negative effects on the enemy to then have the Incinerating Spear dealing enough damage. But at least it doesn't get rid of the other negative effects as well. It's just burn and melting. Alright, we got 1 catapult up. You can see it doesn't take damage, which is fantastic. It means that they're going to be there the entire run, applying burn and huge amounts of damage to all of the bosses, which is fantastic for us because, as you can see, our damage just went skyrocketing as soon as we got that up and running. I don't see the impale happening. I think it's very difficult to see it with everything going on in the background, but I do see quite a few rot stacks happening, which is really, really good for us. So that's also going to help us deal all the damage that we need to all of the enemies. So rot also one of my most favorite negative effects in the game, besides for like your brittle and things like that as well. But let's see what we can go here. Piercing flame, we can go with the negative effects there. Missiles, nice. Thermal shocks, really good. That's going to help us with the hypothermia. Cast frequency, we can crit, that's fine. More crit, 70%, really good for us. And let's just keep going. Again, not really looking for a specific build. You're probably thinking, no, there's no way this build's going to work on Curse 7. But they really have buffed, brought in quite a bit of power creep as well. And it also makes it a lot, you know, don't sleep on bolt skills, guys. The bolt skills are really, really strong, especially Frostbolt. So there we go, we need 1 more. And we then have a second catapult. We did just get it. So let's put our second catapult to work. Fantastic. And we now got our own little towers. Just like how we've got these pylons that keep shooting us. We've got our own towers now that are shooting at the bosses. I see we've got Easter eggs on from the event, but I don't remember us ever moving all the way to the side to break the cage. So I wonder if the catapult actually might have focused that, or if I accidentally killed it some way without even realizing it. So maybe we had like a bolt skill go off in that direction and land up hitting it without even realizing. So we just need to stay away from all of that. And this is insane. And I do know in one of our other videos that we did when we did the Chaos Walker, one of you guys asked about my graphic settings. I actually don't like the looking of the lighting in the game on max, so I keep it to medium. It's just a personal preference. Again, there's nothing wrong with it, it's just a personal thing. I don't like the look of it, so I keep the game to medium, even though I can run it on very high. So it's just a lighting thing. I think the game looks better. Like I'm in a dungeon, I don't want to see the sun, sort of thing, when I'm playing the game. So we gotta just I keep it to medium. Alright, unfortunately I've just got a little bit of something happening here in the background. So if I look like I'm running in a straight line, it's because of that, but it seems to have stopped. So no more problems over there. Alright, so we've got another catapult up and running, so there's only 1 more left, and we just need the 17 materials necessary to build it. We have still kept the graphics up pretty high, which is pretty easy as well because we are only running bolt skills, so there isn't so much coming from us per se, everything else on the screen though, so it will be very nice when we are able to see a lot better. Once we've killed the bosses, that will happen as well. Alright, we're on 14. We are just collecting a bit more, which is going to help us. Come on. Alright, that's a bit more than 17, but that's okay. And then we just need to find the last catapult. There it is over there. And they're all up and running now, which is fantastic. Also, by the way, in the last update, the eggs themselves for the event got a little bit of a change. You now have to kind of stand on them for a good amount of time, or a couple of seconds, or a second before you pick them up. You can't just pick them up right away by walking over them. I think that does help with when you finish the event and you accidentally break the page like what I've done, but it's just there to ensure that you do actually pick it up, so you make sure that you do have it. Oh, we got so many good things over here. Multicast on this is a better percentage, and also works on a lot more skills, which is fantastic. Grab the movement speed, there we go. Give me more multicast and things for all my skills, that would be great. More crit over there, some damage, crit, more crit. Oof, I love it when we level up so much. Alright, we should kill these bosses a lot quicker. But I mean, you can see, like, even with this, even without, I mean, a normal build on him, his ascension doesn't really do too much compared to some of the other characters. It does feel a little bit underwhelming, and it's going to get even worse when you do go to those other overlord cycles and things like that. I think one of the issues as well is I didn't put 23 skill points into my character, so I was a lot weaker than I am now. So, try remember to level up your character as well when you are showing everyone else the ascension. But, ooh, I do see some, I did see some spears there running down. So that was pretty cool as well. I haven't actually, oh, there, I just saw them again in the corner of the screen. So if you want to go back and watch that in slow motion, you should be able to see them. There we go, there was one there that just fell. Very difficult to see them, so you do have to have your visuals all the way up just so you can see them, but I think when you do have quite a lot of enemies, you will be able to see them a lot more often than not. And then Death's Touch, you kind of see this bone explosion on the enemies, and that's to show that it did proc. So that you see quite often, and it's very easy to see that. It's much more difficult to see the spears falling from the sky, but it is very possible to see them if you just pay attention. Alright, I think we are doing quite a bit more damage, so I think we're in a much better spot than where we were earlier. That's perfect. You can see Eternal Guardian taking a whack ton of damage over there, and we are able to do quite a lot of damage to the Ice Incarnation. As long as we can just focus on the boss and not have to move around so much, which we actually do have to do, we should be able to kill them with relatively a good speed. Alright, Ice Incarnation is done. I have no idea what just happened there. So many explosions on the screen, and this is really a good bitrate killer as well for YouTube and their encoder. So just fantastic. I hope you guys enjoyed it, because I'm sure you're seeing a lot of grainy footage. YouTube, nothing we can do about that. Alright, so Incinerating Spear actually dealing 26 million damage. That's a lot more than I thought it would be, but you can see the Catapults actually coming third with 9.6 million damage. We talk about number of hits. The Catapults actually hit a whack ton more than I thought they would. They hit more often than Lightning Bolt did, which is very, very surprising. So really strong damage over there from it, but again, not very good for the Overlord cycles. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And always remember, keep safe, survivors. Until next time, cheers.